Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger with SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, August 24th through Sunday, August 30th, 2015. So we're approaching the end of another month, and this time is just going by so quickly. We're almost to the month of September, and when we do get to that month of September, you'll want to be sure to watch the monthly angel card reading. And if you'd like to go back and watch the monthly angel card reading for August, please feel free. That's on my YouTube channel. You might want to catch up to what the energies of this month are all about before we actually bring this month to a close. Now, as we do every week and for the monthly readings as well, we always have our stones of choice for an extra special message card just for you, along with the regular message of the week. Now, we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck for the weekly reading. I also decided to pull one extra special message card for everyone from Doreen Virtue's Ascended Masters deck. So you see that back here. And for your special message card this week, we're going to be using a tarot deck like we did last week. But this week we're going to be using the Celtic Dragon Tarot by DJ Conway and Lisa Hunt. And if you want to see what kind of the back of the cards look like, the back of the deck looks like this. Again, it's the Celtic Dragon Tarot. It does have a guidebook that goes with it, and I can briefly show that to you in case you want to look for that on the internet if you end up liking the cards. Now, as far as the astrology of the week, and actually I should probably show you your stones of choice first, so let's go ahead and do that so I don't forget. Your first stone of choice is amber. Now, instead of going into the specific qualities of every stone, my angels and guides told me this week to specifically just go over with you the chakra that would mostly be associated with the stone. The amber is a golden yellow stone. It's actually tree resin that's kind of solidified here. And this vibrates to the solar plexus chakra. And your solar plexus is about your center of power, where you hold your sense of confidence and courage, and again, that sense of inner power. So that's your first stone of choice. The second stone of choice, this is called desert selenite. Now, I oftentimes use selenite in the readings, but you can see that the desert selenite has a different look to it. It actually looks like a solidified clump of a beige or brown stone, but it's covered with a lot of little, like a dusting of white. It almost looks like powdered sugar. I think that's the way I described it once before when I used this stone. It looks like a dusting of white powdered sugar on the stone. And the desert selenite, and this might be different if you look it up in a crystal book, but because of the white energy on this stone, I'm intuitively going with the thought, and from what my angels and guides are saying, that this is vibrating to your crown chakra, and it's the beginning of an opening of your crown chakra to divine messages of guidance. So I feel like it's also related to this white light of protection around you as well. And again, that light dusting of that white energy is kind of signaling that you're needing to open up more to your divine messages of higher guidance. Then the last stone of choice, this is actually a beautiful pink agate. It almost looks like rhodochrosite, but it is in fact a pink agate, and I really love just the smoothness of the stone and the color of this stone. This is going to vibrate to your heart chakra. This is going to be where self-love is, nurturing yourself, loving yourself, respecting yourself, healing from old emotional wounds or old relationship wounds as well. So again, your stones of choice for this week are the amber, the desert selenite, and the pink agate. Okay, so now let's get into the astrology of the week. It's not really a really active week, so we go all the way to Wednesday the 26th before we start talking about or looking at the energies. And the first thing that is what is considered a major aspect here is that the sun, which has recently moved into the sign of Virgo, actually, towards the end of last week, now comes up to join Jupiter in Virgo. So it's what's called a conjunction. The sun conjunct Jupiter. And that again happens on Wednesday. And it's in the very early degrees of Virgo. Well, Virgo energy is all about paying attention to the details and taking very small steps, and it's about analyzing. And sometimes it can get overly mental, Virgo energy, and so they overanalyze sometimes or get caught in a kind of negative mind loop of critical thinking or judgmental thinking. So here Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, expands energy. So it could definitely expand that energy of self-criticalness or self-judgmentalness, or being too much in the mind. Let's instead use the positive qualities of Virgo, where Jupiter is going to expand those positive qualities, which is, again, paying attention to what steps you need to take to further your goals and ambitions, to take the next step on your path. And with the paying attention to details, again, it's about dissecting or analyzing, but let's use the energy of discernment here. Let's discern what's in our best and highest interest, and let's really just pay attention to, in a positive way, what needs to be paid attention to as far as these logical, practical steps to move forward on our path. On Thursday the 27th, the planet Mercury, which also rules the mind, our thoughts, our ideas, the mental realm, it's moving out of Virgo, and it actually zipped right through Virgo. It went into Virgo, I think it was sometime around the first week or so of August, and here it is 3 weeks later or so. It's now moving into the sign of Libra. Now, Mercury in Virgo, Virgo is one of the signs that Mercury naturally rules, so it was comfortable in this sign, but yet again had a tendency to maybe over-criticize or over-analyze things and sometimes be too logical, when it might be better sometimes to have more faith and trust and just kind of be in the moment and go with the flow of things. Now, Mercury, as it goes into Libra here on the 27th, there's a rebalancing of our mental energies. We need to stay in a state of mental balance, and we want to stay in a state of mental balance, and it may be easier to actually have that balance. This is also good for communication with other people. Mercury likes to communicate, and the sign of Libra is about significant others. Now, it doesn't just mean romantic or love relationships, but also very good friendships, partnerships even in business. But Libra is usually a one-on-one kind of sign. So this Mercury, as it goes into Libra, is going to support that one-on-one communication, as well as, again, having balanced ideas and coming up with a plan. I feel like a good balanced plan as Mercury moves into that sign. Now, as we get to Saturday the 29th, and this is going to be felt even very late on Friday. So Friday the 28th, the later hours Eastern Daylight Time, and then Saturday. The moon is actually in Aquarius, and I don't always talk about, every day the moon is going through different signs and making different aspects to planets, because this video would be way too long if we did that. But I did want to bring up Saturday and Friday night going into Saturday, because the moon in Aquarius is going to make a challenging aspect to Saturn in Scorpio. Now, Saturn is in the final 2 degrees of Scorpio before it moves into Sagittarius for good. And it's going to be until around mid-September before it moves into Sagittarius. But while Saturn is in these final degrees of Scorpio, again, we're finalizing old energies of disempowerment and where we need to empower ourselves. And we're needing to kind of put those final touches, so to speak, in a way of releasing and purging and letting go of old karmic energies and deep-seated subconscious patterns that need to be released. With the moon in Aquarius squaring Saturn that day, I feel like we're going to have maybe a challenging or difficult time with our feelings, our emotions, and almost intellectualizing them, or being kind of stuck or stubborn about releasing certain patterns. So again, because it's the moon, it has to deal with the emotions, but because it's Aquarius, Aquarius is actually an air sign which deals with the mental realm too. So we're going to have a combination of this emotional, mental energy that we have a tough time letting go of, and Saturn is really asking us to learn what it is we're supposed to learn from whatever disempowering thought, belief, or situation that we're in around Friday and Saturday, so that we can kind of release that and let that go. And then on Saturday, the 29th, later in the day after that Moon square Saturn aspect, we actually have a full moon. And this full moon is at 6 degrees of Pisces. Also on that day, the moon in Pisces is going to be opposing Jupiter in Virgo, and then coming up to meet up with Neptune in Pisces. Now, what does that all mean? Again, Pisces is a sign that deals with surrendering and having faith and kind of believing what you cannot see, because Pisces is all about the spiritual realm. And, you know, with that full moon in Pisces, I feel like, again, we're coming into more of a sense of you have to have faith and believe. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're supported by God, your angels, your guides, the ascended masters. You have to believe that your destiny path is unfolding in divine timing the way it should be and when it should be. And because we're, you know, still dealing with some of that Virgo energy with the Sun in Virgo, Jupiter's in Virgo, the moon on that day will be opposing Jupiter in Virgo. Again, that Virgo energy kind of gets caught up in the mind. It gets caught up in, well, that's not logical, or that doesn't make any sense, or how is that possibly going to happen? And I think that full moon on Saturday is trying to bring in this sense of, again, trusting. Just really trusting that you are a divine being, and that because you're this divine being and a part of the God source energies, that your life is progressing the way it should, and that you have to trust and have faith that again, even though you can't see something in third dimension or see something logically yet, it doesn't mean that it cannot happen or won't happen. You know, miracles happen every day, and I feel like that Pisces energy kind of rules miracles, and it's time to believe in miracles and trust in miracles, and also believe and trust in the divine timing of the universe, knowing when things are best suited for your life as far as things unfolding in your life. So that's a little bit about the astrology for the week. So let's go ahead and choose our cards to see what this message for this last week of August is. We're going to call in the angels, and you can do this with me. It would be good to take a couple of deep breaths and center and call in the angels, the archangels, the ascended masters. Ask them what's in our highest and best interest to know for this week, August 24th through August 30th, 2000. This one wants to come out, 2015. Okay, so let's go ahead and set those aside and see what the message is for the week. The first card we turn over is the King of Fire. It says motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, 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 it says. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. Now, when it comes to the court cards, the page, the knight, the queen, the king, this can be energy or dealings with other people in our lives, but it can also describe qualities within ourselves. And with this card, I'm really strongly getting the message that this is describing an energy that would be beneficial for you to hold within yourself, or an energy to merge with within yourself. And that's that focus energy. Now, Virgo, although it's an earth sign and it's practical and logical, sometimes can be a little scattered because it's a mutable sign. And mutable signs sometimes get lost, or in this case Virgo, gets lost in the details and gets a little bit too scattered. And I feel like we're needing to focus, focus, focus our energies, just like this says. And I also feel like, we're needing to still kind of be in this fire type of energy. This is a fire card. Now, we still have Mars in Leo, and Leo is a fire sign. So Mars is the energy, the movement of energy, moving forward. Mars is about ambition. And I feel like we need to kind of connect and don't forget that Mars is in Leo. Even though we have a lot of Virgo energy going on, even though we have a full moon coming up in Pisces, that we can still kind of connect with and lock in with this passionate, motivational fire energy and focus that creative spark of energy. Focus this creative energy in a practical way because of the Virgo energy that we're also experiencing. But, focus this energy nonetheless to take, what do I want to say? I don't know if I want to use the word control, but to take charge. That's what I want to say. Take charge of your life and take charge of what it is that you're working towards. Take charge of your thought processes and your belief systems and some of that self-critical or self-judgmental energy that may be happening with the Virgo stuff going on. Take charge of that and focus it in a more positive way. Focus it in a way that we can actually put out our positive intentions to create what it is that we want to create in the next step on our path. But let's go ahead and look at the second card to get a little bit more information. Okay, so now we have the Five of Air. And the Five of Air says, an unwise choice, learn what you can from this situation and review everyone's motives. So this is where this chaotic energy is. This is kind of that Virgo thought energy because air cards are about the mental realm and fives usually are very ungrounded, chaotic, or scattered energies. So this is where I feel like we're negating our ability to move forward through our own thoughts and belief systems. This is being too much in your head. This is being too critical of what maybe that you're seeing that doesn't make any logical sense. In other words, you want to get to point B from point A, but you can't see a way that connects the two. And that's your head getting in the way because with spirit, with God, the angels, your guides, the ascended masters, anything can happen. Miracles can happen. Things that, you wouldn't necessarily logically see or know or understand can happen. And this is the angel saying, get out of your head. Get out of your head and instead, again, focus the energies in a positive way. Just believe that you can create or get to or manifest the next step on your path. And don't allow this mental energy to become too chaotic and kind of throw that monkey wrench into things. Let's look at the last card for the week. Okay, so now we have the Eight of Earth. So we had a fire card, an air card, now we have an earth card, which is about practical matters and things that are of manifested quality, so to speak. And this says, skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic and going back to school. So as this progresses, I feel like this card here is saying that there's something new that we need to focus on. There's something that we have to research or understand or what do I want to say, information that we haven't gotten yet. And I feel like this is why we're being tripped up here. We're being tripped up because we can't see the logic in what's going on in our lives. And we're having a hard time just trusting and having faith because sometimes we as mental human beings get too much in our heads and, want proof or we want to see how something's going to work or manifest. But I feel like there's some sort of information or knowledge or wisdom that we haven't come upon yet. And this might come later in the week, or it might be something that we actually have to seek out for ourselves. It might just not come to us spontaneously, but we might actually have to take some physical actions, because again, this is an earth card. Take some physical actions and empower yourself, which is the number 8, to research what the next step might be, or maybe research multiple steps, multiple possibilities. We don't have to have the single answer. We might kind of brainstorm and look at different possibilities and research all those possibilities to find out what's going to be in our highest and best interest, what's going to assist us on a physical level to reach our goals and ambitions, which is signified by the King of Fire here. Let's look at the special message card that I chose for everyone from the Ascended Masters deck. Okay, we have St. Francis, and it says, follow your heart, okay? And this is what I was talking about getting out of your head, not being so logical, not being so mental. This is the full moon in Pisces, because again, that full moon in Pisces is about trust and faith and surrendering and really tuning into the spiritual level of energies. That's what Pisces is that energy, that spiritual energy that doesn't always make sense. You know, it's just spiritual, and that's where miracles can happen. That's where blessings can come. And here St. Francis is holding, he's got his hands kind of folded over his heart chakra, and there's light emanating from the heart chakra. We have a deer over here next to St. Francis, which to me indicates a gentle lure to new pursuits. We have a white dove up here that St. Francis seems to be looking at to me, which is signifying hope, that there's always hope. And when you're gentle with yourselves and you stay away from any self-critical, demanding, or perfectionistic energies, and you have hope and faith, and you trust in yourself as well as universe to show you what the right thing is. Tune into and follow your heart. Follow what feels right, what you intuit is right for you. Not what logically might make sense or not make sense, but what feels good and what feels right. And when you follow your heart, this is when miracles can happen, and this is when the divine plan will unfold. And things will come in to support you, whether it be support from another person or monetary support or whatever it might be. But that support is going to come in when you follow what it is that you truly want and desire in life. Okay, so that kind of wraps up the energy really good. But let's go ahead and take a look at what your special message is depending on your stone of choice. So this is again the Celtic Dragon Tarot deck. And we're going to just call in all of the angels and archangels as ascended masters to bring forth whatever message is in your highest and best interest. Now those of you that chose the amber people, your special message is the Two of Pentacles. Now this to me is about balancing things. I feel like there's going to be maybe a lot of things going on this week for you. You're having to balance maybe, what am I going to say? You might have to be balancing something in your career. You might have to be balancing money or finances. You can see she's kind of walking a log here. This log is kind of from one cliff to another, and she's kind of walking that in a very balanced way while she's holding a dragon in each hand. Now to me, the dragons can symbolize your guides and angels. You so call in your guides and angels to help to keep you balanced and to help keep you moving forward, because that's what I feel like you're doing. I feel like you're trying to balance energies to keep moving forward. And you have this protective dragon here in the background watching your back. So, you know, in moving forward and not knowing what might be over here on the other side, not knowing, you know, whether you can stay balanced as you walk this log, this dragon back here is ready to catch you. If you start to look like you're going to become unbalanced or even maybe fall a little bit, this dragon's going to come and swoop you up and kind of bring you to the other side anyway. But in the meantime, just keep your balance and call in those of the highest vibration of light to assist you as you move forward towards the next step on your path. Okay, so for those of you that chose the Desert Selenite, this one is calling my attention. Desert Selenite people, this is Temperance. This is Major Arcana number 14 with Temperance, and This sort of has a similar message to me as far as balance. Temperance usually is about having patience. Having patience as there's a lot of chaotic energies around you. Now, you can see there's 3 dragons here. There's a blue one, a green one, a red one. So this, to me, they're talking about balancing chakras, root chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra. So you might need to pay attention to balancing perhaps all of your chakras and not just those 3. But you can see that there's this little kind of swirling energy around these dragons, and that to me is that energy of trying to keep things kind of balanced, moving through kind of chaos, as we kind of have patience in moving through that. Now, this is kind of a huge soul lesson, they're saying. You know, when we deal with the major arcana, we're dealing with huge soul lessons as we move through something. But again, I feel like focusing on speaking your truth, focusing on following your desires or following your heart is going to assist you in the manifestation. This red dragon is the manifestation of your hopes, dreams, and wishes. So speak and communicate your truth is the blue dragon. The green dragon, again, is following your heart or being balanced in your heart chakra, emanating that unconditional love as well to yourself and to all others. And this, again, is going to help with the manifestation, with that red dragon, the manifestation of your goals and desires this week. Okay, and then for those of you that chose that pink, the pink agate, this one was sticking out. So this is going to be the King of Swords. Okay. So interesting, because we have the King of Fire here for the week, and this is the King of Swords, which is equivalent to the King of Air. And this is about, interestingly enough, I feel like this is about being logical. It's not being overly logical or getting caught up in the head or in the mind. It's not being critical, but it is about using your mind. It's about, I feel like the king here, it's like he believes in himself. He believes in his goals. And he's got a good balanced mental energy going on. In other words, he's thinking in a very positive way. And even though this is an air card, there is some red-orange color down here. I'm trying to see what the symbolism is. This is actually a dragon. And this larger dragon that has an orange-red color has a smaller dragon. It's kind of sitting on its shoulder. So again, we have a lot of protection here as you move forward with your thoughts and ideas towards what your goals are. And again, staying very mentally balanced as you think about and make a plan. I feel like with the King of Swords here, it's about making a plan. And that orange-red energy to me is going to be sacral chakra and root chakra energy. So this is about being passionate in a way, but this is more passion of the mind, passion of your thoughts, whereas the King of Fire here is a spiritual, passionate energy as well. This is also, again, manifestation, you know, through slow, careful thoughts, through making a plan, through staying balanced in your mind and with your beliefs that you can accomplish anything that you want. That is going to assist you in manifesting your goals, and you're definitely divinely protected and guided as you do so. Now, let me take a quick look at the card and see if there's anything else that I feel shows up here. You know, there's a staircase right here kind of behind the King of Swords, and I feel like this is saying to access your higher mind, not just your logical, you know, everyday mind, but the staircase behind the King of Swords here is telling me to access the higher mind. And that's kind of opening the crown chakra in a way, opening that crown chakra and accessing divine guidance from your angels and guides and from your higher self as well. That's that higher mental mind here that needs to be accessed, because in the higher mental mind, this is where we're usually more positive and optimistic and in a place of believing and knowing that things are going to happen for us. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. I want to send out a big thanks and a lot of love and light and healing to all of you. Thank you for watching and sharing and liking my videos. Thank you for those of you that are my Facebook friend on either Colleen Lemma and my business page, Sacred Soul Empowerment, where I do my daily posts. Thank you for liking and for commenting on those as well. Thank you for reading my monthly astrology article, which should be out soon for the month of September. And again, thank you for those that have donated through my website, Sacred Soul Empowerment. Thank you to those that have signed up for a reading or a healing, because this is my passion and this is what I enjoy to do, is helping people, guiding people, and assisting people on empowering themselves. So many, many blessings to all of you and much love and light. Until next week.